So lads, it's that time of the year again where Caitlin Clark is now scheduled to play some golf.
The WNBA just did something absolutely unthinkable. In what might be the most shocking move of the offseason, the league has reportedly issued...
Or it's the golf tour again. So Caitlin Clark is returning to the Annika to participate in the LPGA's Pro-Am.
An official warning to Caitlin Clark following her electrifying appearance at the LPGA's Annika Pro-Am event. Yes, you heard that right. The same superstar who single-handedly brought record-breaking...
This is gonna be fire. Y'all know she set the whole golf world on fire last year, had everybody tuned in. The ratings jumped up crazy.
Sold-out arenas and unprecedented media attention to the league is now being reprimanded for playing golf. Let that sink in for a second. While the entire sports world celebrated Caitlin's crossover moment with the LPGA, her own league was allegedly...
A Pro-Am that attracted a bigger crowd than the tour often gets. Clark played at the back nine at Pelican Golf Club with Nelly Corda. She's the #1 player
watching from the shadows, preparing to send her a message. And trust me, what went down behind closed doors is about to blow your mind. This isn't just drama. This is a full-blown crisis that exposes everything wrong with how the WNBA treats its...
Morgan with Maria Fossey and other players out here following.
That's good. A lot of fun. Made it easy. Annika, could I steal you for a second? I didn't think I'll have
a star. So here's what happened. Caitlin Clark announced she'd be returning to the golf course to participate in the Annika LPGA Pro-Am on November 12th. For most people, this...
Bigger... I can't say bad stuff on TV, but badasses once together. We're doing a fun
exciting news. Caitlin had already proven last year that she could draw massive crowds to a golf tournament, turning what was supposed to be a quiet charity event into a ratings juggernaut. The LPGA loved her. The fans loved her. The media couldn't get enough of her. But apparently, someone at the WNBA headquarters...
There we go. Yeah. I'm next. Yes! 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Hi, Caitlin. Nice to meet you.
I said it, the buzz from the players.
Over here, so. I'm distracting you.
For weeks.
No, y'all are trying to get finished.
Wasn't thrilled about it at all. According to inside sources, league officials were furious that Caitlin was once again stepping outside the basketball world to shine in another sport. And instead of celebrating her crossover appeal like any smart organization...
Has been huge.
Somebody take this picture?
By the way, Allie, an outstanding point guard in her own right in Fulton, Mississippi. All-state.
Thanks for being here.
They allegedly sent her a formal warning about her participation in outside events during the offseason. Now, let's be clear about what this really means. The WNBA just watched Caitlin Clark completely dominate the sports news cycle without a basketball in her hand, and their response wasn't to capitalize on it or support her. It was to try and control her. Think about that for a moment. This is the same player who brought their league into the mainstream conversation for the first time in years, and they're treating her like she's some kind of liability. The irony is almost painful. While the LPGA was rolling out the red carpet, putting Caitlin on national television, pairing her with the world's #1 golfer Nelly Corda, and turning her appearance into a marketing masterpiece, the WNBA was sitting in the background sending warnings. It's the kind of move that makes you wonder if anyone running that league has any idea what they're doing. Let's rewind and talk about what actually went down at this LPGA event, because it wasn't just some casual celebrity golf outing. Caitlin Clark showed up, flashed that signature smile, swung a golf club, and somehow managed to turn the entire world of women's sports completely upside down. This event was originally supposed to be low-key, just a fun little charity pro-am with a few athletes and some golf stars. Nothing too major. But the second Caitlin's name hit that invite list, everything changed. Fans absolutely lost their minds. Thousands of people started flooding social media asking how they could watch, how they could attend, whether it would be streamed live. The demand got so wild that the LPGA, which wasn't even planning to televise the event initially, had to completely overhaul their setup. They brought in cameras, secured national TV coverage, and turned what was supposed to be a quiet exhibition into a full-blown media spectacle. All because of one player. And you know what? It worked like magic. Caitlin Clark brought a bigger crowd to that golf course than the LPGA Tour often gets for their actual competitive rounds. The atmosphere was electric. People were holding signs, chanting her name, cheering like they were at a Final Four game. It looked less like a golf event and more like a rock concert. And the LPGA knew exactly what they had on their hands. They didn't just invite Caitlin for a quick cameo and call it a day. No, they strategically made her the absolute centerpiece of the entire event. They paired her with Nelly Korda, the #1 ranked golfer in the world. Think about that pairing for a second. That's like putting Caitlin Clark and Aya Wilson on the same court and saying go break the internet. And that's exactly what happened. The moment those two teed off together, the event stopped being just a golf tournament and became a full-on cultural crossover moment. The LPGA wasn't hosting a game, they were hosting a moment. Photos of Caitlin and Nelly smiling, laughing, walking the course together started flooding every corner of social media. ESPN posted about it. Bleacher Report covered it. Barstool Sports jumped on it. Golf Digest wrote multiple articles. Even people who had never watched a single hole of golf in their entire lives were suddenly commenting things like, "I don't even watch golf, but this is iconic." And that right there is the whole point. Caitlin Clark made people care. She brought basketball fans to golf. She brought casual sports fans to women's athletics. She created buzz, conversation, and genuine excitement. And the LPGA leaned into that energy like absolute professionals. They posted behind-the-scenes clips, highlight reels, and quotes from Caitlin talking about how much fun she was having. They used captions like "Queen of the Court meet Queen of the Course." They promoted her like she was one of their own athletes, and they weren't scared of overexposure or worried about fairness or any of that nonsense. They just said she's a star, she's here, let's celebrate it. Meanwhile, back in WNBA land, there was nothing but crickets. Not a single tweet. Not one Instagram post. Not even a simple congratulations or a retweet of a golf highlight. Complete and total silence from the league that supposedly owes half of its record-breaking viewership to this exact player. And fans noticed immediately. People started asking, why is the LPGA celebrating Caitlin harder than her own league? And honestly, that's not just a fair question, it's the question. Because what the LPGA did wasn't complicated. They saw an opportunity to connect their sport to a massive new audience, and they grabbed it with both hands. They understood that Caitlin wasn't taking attention away from golf, she was bringing attention to it. But the WNBA has spent the last year treating Caitlin's fame like it's some kind of problem they need to manage instead of a gift they should be celebrating. Let's talk about the pattern here, because this isn't the first time the WNBA has dropped the ball when it comes to promoting Caitlin Clark. Early in the season, they barely posted about her games. They refused to highlight her best plays unless they absolutely had to. The league's commissioner even had to go on record clarifying comments about not wanting to center the entire league around one player. And now here we are, watching another sport use that exact same one player to dominate national headlines while the WNBA sits on the sidelines issuing warnings. Do you see how backward that is? The LPGA just showed the entire sports world how to embrace a superstar, how to use her platform to grow your league, how to turn one appearance into a marketing goldmine. And the WNBA's response was to allegedly tell Caitlin to be careful about doing it again. Here's what really stings about all of this. The LPGA treated Caitlin like absolute royalty. The athletes were smiling, supportive, excited to be around her. Nelly Korda went on record praising Caitlin, saying she brought a fun and fresh energy to the sport. That quote alone made headlines because it showed respect, not rivalry. Nobody at that event was complaining about Caitlin's spotlight being too bright. Nobody was whining about media attention or fairness. It was pure celebration. Compare that to the WNBA, where the narrative all season long has been about players allegedly being jealous of the attention Caitlin gets, about tensions in locker rooms, about everyone demanding equal treatment. And when you see a completely different sport welcome her with open arms, it just exposes how petty and small-minded the WNBA's approach has been. The numbers don't lie either. When Caitlin played, WNBA games had the highest ratings of the entire season. When she didn't play, those numbers dropped significantly. That's not a coincidence, that's star power. Her jersey became the top seller. Her interviews generated millions of views. Her presence brought sponsorship deals and corporate attention that the league desperately needed. So why on earth would you fight that? Why would you pretend she's not the face of your sport when she clearly is? It's like the WNBA is terrified to admit what every single fan already knows, that Caitlin Clark is the best thing to happen to women's basketball in years, maybe decades. And if they don't start acting like it, they're going to lose her attention to organizations that actually understand what to do with a star of her magnitude. Let's be real for a second. The LPGA needed this boost. Golf isn't exactly known for trending on Twitter or going viral on TikTok. But Caitlin changed that overnight. For 2 straight days, she was everywhere. Sports media, entertainment outlets, social platforms, everyone was talking about her swing, her smile, her personality. People who had never cared about golf suddenly found themselves watching highlight clips and asking when the next tournament was. That is the Caitlin Clark effect in its purest form. And the LPGA capitalized on every single second of it. Ticket sales spiked. Social media engagement tripled. Merchandise sold out. They even gained new international followers because of all the buzz she created. That's not luck. That's smart, calculated, professional marketing. Meanwhile, the WNBA sat there in silence, watching another league steal the spotlight, and then allegedly had the audacity to issue a warning. Fans are absolutely furious about this. Comments have been flooding the WNBA's official social media pages, asking, why are you pretending she doesn't exist? You should be thanking her for those record ratings. The LPGA is doing your job better than you are. And none of those criticisms are wrong. This was the easiest PR win imaginable. All the WNBA had to do was post something, literally anything, to show some support and unity. They could have shared a clip, congratulated her, celebrated the crossover moment. But instead, they stayed quiet, and now they look completely disconnected from their own biggest star. It's gone from funny to genuinely sad at this point. Because here's the thing. Caitlin Clark isn't trying to embarrass the WNBA. She's not being controversial. She's not complaining or causing drama. She's literally just doing what she's always done. Showing up, working hard, being humble, and making people care about women's sports. But every single time another organization embraces her the way the LPGA just did, it makes the WNBA silence, and now their alleged warnings look even worse. It makes them look insecure, petty, and completely out of touch. Sports analysts have started calling this out too. One prominent commentator said the LPGA treated Caitlin like the superstar she is, while the WNBA treats her like a PR risk. That one sentence sums up this entire situation perfectly. The LPGA sees Caitlin as a bridge to new fans, as an opportunity to grow their sport. The WNBA apparently sees her as a distraction, as someone who needs to be controlled and managed. And that fundamental difference in philosophy is why one league is trending upward while the other is fumbling its own success story. So here's the bottom line. Did the LPGA just show the WNBA how it's actually done? Absolutely. Was this a fun crossover moment or a massive embarrassment for the league? It's both. And if the WNBA doesn't wake up soon and start celebrating their stars instead of silencing them, they're going to lose the attention, the momentum, and the cultural relevance that Caitlin Clark worked so hard to build for them. The warning they allegedly sent isn't just bad optics. It's a signal that they still don't understand the game they're playing. And in the world of sports marketing, that kind of ignorance doesn't just cost you headlines. It costs you everything.